watching WGAL 8. Now, coverage you can count on continues. This is News 8 Today.
They were into the driveway and they looked up and there was this guy standing there with a pistol and he just started shooting at him.
A shooting rampage in Blair County. 4 people are dead and several police officers were injured. And from the state capitol to the streets of Lebanon, residents from around the Susquehanna Valley are honoring those who died in last week's shooting at a Connecticut elementary school. Good morning, I'm Portia Johnson. Those stories are coming up, but first, here's Matt Bender with a look at our forecast, a windy and cold day.
That's right, and winter is here.
Yeah.
Officially, this is the first full day of winter. It actually started yesterday during the winter solstice. Astronomical winter, as we like to call it, started 6:12 a.m. yesterday. It's the earliest it's ever started since 1896. So, hey, the world didn't end yesterday, and today you get a couple seconds more sunshine, and the days get longer until we get into the end of June. We're not going to see much in the way of sun until we get into the afternoon, and even then I think it's going to be kind of muted. It's a windy day. Plenty of clouds out there right now. A couple flurries and sprinkles being reported across the region too. We'll see a high of 40. The wind will diminish tonight. Partly cloudy skies down to 26 and mostly sunny day tomorrow with a high of 42. There's more weather to talk about a little bit later on in the show. Portia.
All right, Matt, thank you. We begin with our top story this morning. Investigators in Blair County are investigating a shooting rampage near Altoona. 4 people are dead, including the gunman, and several state troopers were wounded in the chase that followed. Police are still trying to piece together what led to Friday's Frankstown Township violence. News 8's Matt Barquero has the story.
State police were called to a rural road outside Altoona Friday morning to check out a shots fired report. On their way, police say a man shot at their passing patrol cars, hitting one state trooper in the wrist and showering another with bullet fragments and shattered glass. Police said the suspect drove away and those troopers turned around to follow him. The suspect crashed into a third moving patrol car, injuring that trooper. In the next exchange of gunfire, the same trooper who earlier was shot in the wrist was shot in the chest, saved, police say, by his bulletproof vest. Troopers shot and killed the suspect. And then they got to the scenes of the original 911 calls, a house, a church, and a road intersection, and found a person dead at each site. Police believe the gunman killed each before going after the responding troopers.
We have 3 very fortunate state police members tonight. We're very thankful for the fact that they survived this attack. It was a very violent attack, and as more details come out about the investigation, I believe you'll see that just how lucky they really were.
As for the victims, 1 woman and 2 men, prosecutors do not believe there's any biological connection between them and the shooter. Emotional family members of the victims met at the Geezytown Fire Hall. Charles Brenneman's cousin was one of the people killed. While police have not released the names of anyone involved, Brenneman spoke to his cousin's wife, who was there at the time of the shooting.
They were into the driveway and they looked up and there was this guy standing there with a pistol and he just started shooting at him.
We still don't know, and police have not yet said whether the shootings were random. In Blair County, I'm Matt Barquero, News 8.
Stay with News 8 on air and online as we learn more about what happened in Blair County. New this morning, Manheim Borough Police have charged 19-year-old Benjamin Klinger with criminal homicide after a car crash on December 4th. Police say Klinger was driving his car on Route 283 at high speeds when he intentionally crashed into a guardrail. The passenger in the car, 17-year-old Samantha Heller, sustained serious injuries from the crash. Police say Klinger then sat on Heller, causing her to suffocate. The coroner determined the suffocation was the cause of her death. Klinger faces several other charges, including possession of marijuana. And an update on this week's double shooting in Harrisburg. The Dauphin County coroner says 21-year-old Adrian Evans was shot twice, once in the chest and head. The coroner says the shooter, 36-year-old Legenza Junius, used a shotgun to shoot Evans, his ex-girlfriend, and her friend, a 19-year-old man. He says some may look at the shooting and think there needs to be more gun control, but the coroner says that's not the problem.
The problem was he felt his pain was more important than her life. There's the real problem. That's the biggest problem in our society today, is the I, or everything's about me.
Police say the shooting happened in an apartment building on the 900 block of North 6th Street, where both Evans and Junius lived. Franklin County Police say 2 people died in a car crash on Philadelphia Avenue in Green Township. The accident happened Friday afternoon. 2 cars collided after one drifted into the opposing lane. The cars hit head-on. One driver died at the scene, the other at Chambersburg Hospital. And in York, fire damaged 2 homes. The fire started around 11:45 Friday morning in the 200 block of West Cottage Place. Firefighters called in 3 alarms to get more manpower. No word on the cause. The Red Cross is helping the people who live there. In Lebanon, 3 people are behind bars charged with operating a drug operation. The district attorney says Aldea Gaston Vasquez, Jose Rivera, and Juan Rivera were caught with more than 100 bags of heroin and cocaine in the house they lived in on the 1400 block of Willow Street. The DA says the house was wired for surveillance and had doors fortified with boards and multiple locks to prevent police from breaking in. In Lemoyne, Cumberland County, firefighters say a fire Friday morning was started by a child playing with a lighter. It happened in the 200 block of Bosler Street. The assistant fire chief from the West Shore Bureau of Fire tells us a 4-year-old was in bed with his father and started playing with a lighter, which set the bed on fire. The father woke up and got everyone out safely. To state news now. Good news for Pennsylvania's economy. The state's Department of Labor reported Friday the biggest monthly drop in joblessness in nearly 30 years. Pennsylvania's unemployment rate went from 8.1% to 7.8%. In 2010, the jobless rate was at 8.7%. Now, coming up on News 8 today, the NRA is speaking out after last week's elementary school shooting. Why they say guns are not the problem, but the solution. But first, last night's lottery numbers. Daily number 761, Big 4 2194, Quinto 73634, Cash 5 28 36 39 41 43. Mega Millions 3 18 32 41 56, Mega Ball 19, Mega Plier 3. We'll be right back.
This holiday season, treat your family to Broadway quality theater right here in the Susquehanna Valley at the Fulton Theater. Hi, I'm Kim Lemon.
And I'm Doug Allen. And this year's production's one I'm really excited about. It's Singing in the Rain. It'll be raining on stage, but the holiday forecast is fun for the whole family.
For more information, go to WGAL.com. Under the On TV drop-down, click on the community page.
So come on out and enjoy Singing in the Rain.
Now through December 29th here at the Fulton.
At Stouffer's, we think Christmas is the best of all seasons.
Your holiday dinner and party celebrations begin here.
We have everything you need in one easy trip.
Utz chips, pretzels, and snack mix, 5 for $10. Leidy's and Burke's whole boneless hams, $2.29 a pound. Varieties of Hanover Gold Line vegetables, buy one, get one free. And Coke fridge pack cans, 4 for $11.
Merry Christmas from our family to yours.
Welcome to Toyotathon, biggest sales event of the year. I'm Jan. How can I help?
We're looking for something exciting.
Dependable. Look around. Everything exciting is dependable, too.
Dependable and exciting.
Is he okay?
It's just sinking in. He's almost back. I call this me time. I love it.
Check out 9 models with 0% APR, including Camry, RAV4, Corolla, Highlander, and Tundra. Plus, make no payments for up to 90 days. Toyotathon is on, the one event you don't want to miss.
Make the season bright with our holiday section. You'll find everything you need, from gift ideas, special offers, recipes, and interactive holiday games. Just visit WGAL.com/holidays for more information. Sponsored by Pandora Park City Center. Arriving just in time for the holidays, our new Winter Charm collection includes gingerbread men, Christmas stockings, and so much more. Let Pandora Park City Center find the perfect gift for everyone on your list and make this holiday season truly unforgettable.
When you see news happening, call the News 8 tip line at 1-800-TIP-WGAL.
Now to national news. The country is just 9 days away from heading over the fiscal cliff, and lawmakers are headed home for the holidays, still with no agreement on how to save Americans from the spending cuts and tax hikes slated for January 1st. Friday, President Obama met with House Speaker John Boehner and Senate Majority Leader Harry Reid to try to find out a compromise.
There is absolutely no reason, none, not to protect these Americans from a tax hike. At the very least, let's agree right now on what we already agree on. Let's get that done.
Economists fear if nothing is done before the start of this year, it could send the country into another recession. It's been 1 week since a gunman entered a Connecticut elementary school and killed 26 people. The National Rifle Association responded for the first time Friday to call for gun control. The NRA blamed the shooting on a culture of violence in video games and movies and argued that guns are not the problem but the solution. Washington reporter Nicole Killian has more.
In Connecticut, a moment of silence shared around the world. From Sandy Hook Elementary to Afghanistan, the New York Stock Exchange, and the nation's capital. 26 bells tolled for 26 victims.
But since last Friday, a week ago, I do believe the world has fundamentally changed.
In its first public event since the tragedy, the National Rifle Association broke its silence and called on Congress to put armed officers in every school.
The only thing that stops a bad guy with a gun is a good guy with a gun.
Ban assault weapons now!
The proposal was met with protest inside and out.
As a father, I have 2 kids. I don't want to have armed guards in front of my kids' school.
And on Capitol Hill.
The Newtown tragedy was a call for action, and the NRA has failed to answer that call.
In a video statement, the president pledged to move forward with a review to curb gun violence.
Because if there's even one thing we can do as a country to protect our children, we have a responsibility to try.
In Washington, Nicole Killian for News 8.
The victims of the Sandy Hook Elementary School shooting were remembered Friday with a moment of silence across the country and the Susquehanna Valley. Thousands of residents gathered for an event called Candles Across Lebanon County, a vigil that extended from one end of the county to the other. Residents gathered at a number of stations on Route 422 to honor those who died in the shooting.
Everybody's been touched by this tragic event coming down 422, just seeing people lining up. It's pretty neat to see everybody come together for something like this.
Residents also signed a book at the vigil that will be sent to Newtown. Now, as we go to break, it is 9:43, a live look over the city of Lancaster. Matt Bender will be back after the break with a complete storm team forecast, so stay with us.
Merry Christmas Eve! Country superstar Trisha Yearwood's trimming your kitchen time with her super easy holiday roast and a side of celebrity
Tom Cruise green beans.
Next, Rachel.
Monday at 2 on Channel 8.
Next, Dr. Phil. Rolling. Barbara Streisand, like you've never seen her before.
I get embarrassed.
You won't do it.
No, I'm too shy.
Would you like to swing your feet up on the couch and I'll analyze it for you?
Monday at 3 on Channel 8.
Dear Honda, thanks for the deal you got my sister at your holiday sales event. Shotgun! Rides in her Civic are full of valuable information.
Tim's parents are gone.
Party! Interesting. Plus, my iPod connects to the car. And since she's saving so much, she's going to be a lot nicer. Love, Samantha.
More happiness with every Honda during Happy Honda Days. Get a great deal on the 2012 Civic at your Honda dealer.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
For 2 days, Wolf Furniture gives you a big thank you.
Big savings, special financing, a vacation giveaway, even a free gift.
The big thank you sale Wednesday and Thursday at Wolf's.
Give us your dings, dents, sorrow, and shame, and we'll get your car back in tip-top shape. So don't go getting bent out of shape, because Maaco's collision repair is up to 33% less compared to other body shops. Maaco, America's #1 paint and body shop.
WGAL's holiday songbooks are back, filled with seasonal favorites. WGAL's holiday songbooks have been spreading holiday cheer throughout the Susquehanna Valley for nearly 40 years. This year, it's easier than ever to bring home this WGAL holiday tradition. Just visit one of these participating stores and pick up a copy while supplies last, or log on to WGAL.com and click on the community page to print out a copy for your own home. Share the joyous sounds of the holidays with a WGAL Holiday Songbook.
The News 8 Skycam Network is sponsored by Jones Acura.
With just days to go until Christmas, over 80% of us are not finished with our holiday shopping, including me. News 8 On Your Side reporter Matt Belanger has a few tips to help keep your spending within your budget.
The holiday season can be stressful enough, especially when it comes to all of that shopping. And the 8 On Your Side team is working to hopefully reduce your financial stress with 5 suggestions for ways to make this a debt-free and hopefully stress-free holiday season. Number 1 sounds simple enough, but it's so important. Make lots of lists. Write down everything you're considering buying, everyone you're considering shopping for. What that's going to do is help prevent you from making any impulse purchases, which can really do some harm to your budget this time of year. Number 2, make a budget for every expense you're going to have. And keep in mind, the people you're buying gifts for wouldn't want you to spend more than you can afford. And if money's tight this holiday season, consider asking your family members to maybe draw names for gift giving this year. Number 3, before you buy anything in a store or online, be sure to go online and check for any coupons or special offers, especially those free shipping deals you sometimes find. Number 4, you know you've been earning them all year long, and the holiday season is the perfect time of year to cash in on all of those credit card points you've been racking up. Look for opportunities to use them as well. And suggestion number 5 is start early. And we're not talking about early in the shopping season, we're talking about early in the morning. Many times getting an early start will help ensure that item that's on sale that you really want is actually going to be there. Of course, the widest selection of items is often available first thing in the morning as well. And getting an early start could also help you avoid those holiday crowds. So there you have it, 5 easy suggestions for ways to get you on your way to hopefully a debt-free and stress-free holiday season. I'm Matt Belanger. On Your Side, News 8.
If you are going out and about shopping today, hold on to those bags. It's going to be a windy afternoon. These are some of the gusts being reported this morning. 44 miles an hour in Lancaster and Lebanon. We could see those going up to 50 miles an hour as we head into the afternoon. That's why the National Weather Service has issued a wind advisory through 7 p.m. off to the south. A high wind advisory in Maryland. And our forecast takes us to Rising Sun, Maryland, and for the rest of the Susquehanna Valley, there's that wind advisory. Clouds and sun this afternoon, and windy conditions. Again, sustained 15 to 30 miles an hour. We're looking at our temperature hovering in the upper 30s a couple places. We'll break 40 this afternoon. Now tonight, partly cloudy and the winds will be on the decline, diminishing down into the 20s for our low. Tomorrow, mostly sunny day. Seasonal, our high should be about 40 degrees. Will be a little bit above 40 tomorrow. Right now, middle 30s basically everywhere, from a 35 in Shrewsbury to 37 in Newville, 35 in Mifflintown, Blaine to 33. Colder air is off to the north and west. It's trying to work its way in here. As we go east of the river, you see a 35 in Hamburg, 36 from Myerstown to Lebanon and Palmyra, down to Elizabethtown, Oxford at 37 degrees. Taking a look at the radar, there are a couple sprinkles, couple flurries moving through. That's associated with some of those lake effect showers off to the north and west. You see basically Mifflin, Juniata County, and then places to the north and west is where the snow is falling. We'll go ahead and loop the radar over the last 6 hours, and you see it basically ends in this region every now and then. A little squall kind of makes it through the upper parts of the valley, but that's going to diminish as we go into the afternoon. This is all care of a storm system way up here in Canada. It's swirling around, and you watch the clouds closely, you see they're going around in a counterclockwise or cyclonic direction. That's bringing wind out of Canada and Hudson Bay down into our neck of the woods. Now we have high pressure off to the west. Winds around here blow in a clockwise pattern. You see these clouds here funneling all the wind into this tight little space, and that's what's causing these windy conditions over the lake and causing these lake effect snow showers to the north and west. If we go ahead and look on the News 8 predictor and see how that affects our weather in time, I think the computer model is underdoing the precipitation a little bit. I still think we'll see some snow showers up here until the afternoon, but as we go through the afternoon into the evening and the overnight, they'll start to diminish. Clouds will even start to diminish across the whole valley, and we'll see plenty of sunshine tomorrow. Now, another system's coming in for Monday. We'll go ahead and stop it just before it enters the region. Now, actually, it's moving through during the late day on Monday. A couple of light showers. Now, if this moves a little bit farther to the south, we might see a couple flakes of snow. Monday evening, we're going to keep our eye on that. Today might be a big travel day as we head into the Christmas holiday. If you're headed west out, the Turnpike or Interstate Interstate 80 within about 5 hours of the Susquehanna Valley. Temperatures in the 30s, and you are going to encounter some of those scattered snow showers even up into New York. But if you're headed up to the New England region, looking at temperatures in the 40s, New York City should be a dry drive. And if you head south, it will only get sunnier and only get a little bit warmer. Temperatures in the 40s down in the Delmarva, or if you're heading down I-95 or down I-81. Roanoke at a high of 42 today, down towards Southern Virginia. That's where you'll have to find your temperatures in the 50s. Nowhere near the 50s on our 7-day forecast, though. Looking at a high of 40 today, 42 tomorrow, 38 on Monday, and there's that chance of some precipitation Monday night into Tuesday morning. And then Wednesday, we're watching our computer models carefully. They're kind of disagreeing over the type of weather we're going to see Wednesday. It looks like we get some precipitation, whether it's rain or snow depends exactly on the track. So we'll be keeping a close eye on that through the rest of this weekend. Dr. John Scala will be in here tonight at 6 to give you an update on that.
I think you want snow. That tie says snow, Christmas spirit.
And
totally.
the reindeer, too.
And the
That's the whole stage.
All right, Matt, thank you.
Good morning. A first-place showdown in the York-Adams League between Southwestern and York. First half, Southwestern with the ball, going for an easy bucket, but York's Jahair Wilson will have none of it. Denied. The Bears' D was aggressive all night long. Devon Parker comes up with a steal, sends it down court to Dayquest Cassiano on the run for the lay-in, and the Bearcats roll to an easy win, 80-56, taking sole possession of first place. Another first-place showdown in the LL League. Donegal's fans sporting their Christmas gear as the Indians took on Lampeter Strasburg. Second half, LS's Sean Singh to J.D. Achille, who nails the jumper. Pioneers are within a bucket. Donegal's Dylan Housesteal gets double-teamed as he crosses half court. Goes to Tom Hatt, who has a nice touch pass to Matt Foltz. That's pretty. Indians remain perfect on the season, 38-28. Girls basketball, Lady Bubblers of Boiling Springs in a first-place showdown against Gettysburg. Gettysburg's Caitlin Wood passing to Camden Boehner for the Rainbow Three early on. G-Burg has the lead. The Bubblers, Taylor Malanish. A baseline pass across to Michaela Snyder, who then drives and scoops. Boiling Springs takes sole possession of first with a 42-33 victory. NBA, the Sixers snap a 5-game skid by clamping down on Atlanta. Evan Turner pumped in 21 for Philly. Let's go to the Valencia Ballroom in York for the holiday boxing show. York native Stevie Weimer in the black and gold trunks with a wicked left on Hector Orozco in the main event. Weimer then scores with another left. Weimer wins the match with a unanimous decision. Baseball news, the Pirates have made their second big free agent signing this month. They get pitcher Nelson Liriano, who spent last season with the Twins and White Sox. Liriano gets a 2-year deal worth $14 million. Earlier this month, the Bucs signed catcher Russell Martin. I'm Mike Hostetler, News 8.
Thanks for making News 8 the #1 choice for local news coverage in the Susquehanna Valley.
Trust doesn't come easy. Trust is earned. Trust is proven. News 8 on your side, protecting your money, making you smarter about your health, trusted to hold government accountable. In times like these, it matters where you get your news. News 8, committed to investigative reporting, always innovative, always improving, always looking out for you and your family, earning your trust every day. News 8 on your side. It's coverage you can count on.
Frozen pipes are a preventable cause of water damage. Disconnect your garden hose and turn off the water to the faucet from inside your home. There should be a shutoff valve somewhere near the outside faucet. I'm Steve Rote with your tip of the day.
For more tips on winterizing your home, visit WGAL.com/Paul Davis. And when disaster strikes, for quick response, quality service, and peace of mind, call Paul. Paul Davis Restoration and Remodeling.
Dear Honda, thanks for getting my son Steven a deal at your holiday sales event. The Bluetooth in the Pilot is so convenient.
Hey, Mom.
Hi, honey.
How's the rash?
And the rear view camera is so helpful.
Tristan!
Love, Nancy. P.S. He's single.
More happiness and standard features with every Honda during Happy Honda Days. Get a great deal on the 2013 Pilot at your Honda dealer.
Get holiday savings from your family-owned markets. John F. Martin whole skinless shankless ham is just $1.99 a pound. Bags of Utz potato chips are buy one, get one free. 12-pack cans of Coke products are 4 for $11 when you buy any 4 with your card. And Thomas's Original or Whole Grain White English Muffin 6-packs are buy one, get one free.
Shop your friendly family-owned Hi, we're the Musser family, and we thank you for shopping with us.
4 generations committed to serving you.
There are some signs of more jobs opening up, and some of the people who are seeing it just graduated from college. News 8's York reporter Ed Weinstock shows us how a new major offered at York College is helping.
And I'm so glad I'm not graduating at this moment with a political science degree.
Harrison Jacoby raises his hands high as he graduates from York College. Like all of the graduates, his focus is now on getting a job. But unlike most other college students, he should have an easy time of it. That's because he already has 2 job offers.
But it's wonderful to have a job.
Jacoby is one of 5 students graduating with degrees in Supply Chain Operations Management. It is a brand new program at York College, and right now it is a hot subject. Some of the graduates are looking at high-paying jobs, even though they are just coming out of college.
$40K to start.
How do you feel about that?
It feels good, but the only problem is the other people within the major are already 50, 52s, 55.
So what is Supply Chain Operations Management? We asked Dr. Andy Samutka, who teaches it.
It's the next big area for companies to reduce costs.
He says the new grads will make critical decisions for companies. For example, if it is better to get a cheaper price for a product or spend more money for rapid delivery.
They needed people that could figure out what the trade-offs in costs were that would make their business more efficient.
We were asked not to reveal the names of companies that the graduates received offers from, but some of them are major corporations. As you might expect, the families of the new graduates are proud. Stacy Jacoby has this advice for her son.
Just stay happy. Keep smiling.
In York County, Ed Weinstock, News 8.
WGAL.com's local pros who know, your online source for expert advice.
Weaver Nut Sweets and Snacks, your local pro. With a large selection of quality dried fruits, nuts, candies, chocolates, and snacks. Reasonable prices and great service. Stop by and see for yourself why our customers keep coming back. Weaver Nut Sweets and Snacks, a division of Weaver Nut Company, your family-owned local pro.
WGAL.com's local pros who know, your online source for expert advice.
Throughout the year, when we've asked, you've responded.
Thank you for hearing our call to participate in fundraising events for local charities. The Race Against Racism is a fun event, and it gets bigger and bigger every year. It's amazing how many people come out to this event, and I mean, we do this in Lancaster, Gettysburg, York, Harrisburg, and it's just so neat to know that we're all running at the same time for the same cause. I mean, it's a race for the human race.
Together, we've helped make the Susquehanna Valley
a better place to live. From WGAL, happy holidays.
WGAL.com's ULocal is your place to share video, audio, photos, and stories with the WGAL community. Go to WGAL.com and click ULocal to sign up for your own free profile page. Start blogging about what's going on in your area and post your photos and videos. And when you see breaking news happen, upload to ULocal. Who knows? News 8 could use your videos and photos on TV. You're in control. WGAL.com's ULocal, connecting the Susquehanna Valley. News 8's Skycam Network.
And this is a live picture from our new Hanover Skycam.
Is always on.
Harrisburg.
Across the Susquehanna Valley.
York.
Strategically positioned.
Lancaster.
Searching for news.
Lebanon.
Showing you severe weather.
Carlisle.
As it heads your way.
Ephrata.
No matter the time.
Gettysburg.
No matter the day.
The News 8 Skycam Network now expands to Hershey.
News 8 Skycam Network.
Of course, we'll continue to give you a bird's eye view of what's going on
It's
out there.
coverage you can count on. Sponsored by Jones Acura.
Closed captioning is underwritten by Jane's, your Surefine market in Biglerville.
Well, there's a couple flurries and sprinkles.
And what's next? We have a packed show ahead. We're joined by Jen Psaki, who was President Obama's traveling press secretary for his re-election campaign. economist Diane Swonk, as well as Margaret Hoover, who served in the Bush White House, John Avlon, who's with the Daily Beast, and Connecticut attorney Irving Pinsky, an embarrassment of riches. I'm John Berman. Soledad O'Brien is off today.
We'll take it. We'll take it. Good morning. I'm Brooke Baldwin. It is Wednesday, January 2nd. A special fiscal cliff addiction. Fiscal cliff edition here. Addiction. We're over it, but we're going to talk about it this morning. Starting point. Roll it. Starts right now. Here we go, full table this morning. Our panel today, we have Mr. Richard Socarides, writer, NewYorker.com, and former senior advisor to President Clinton. Also, Chrystia Freeland, digital editor, Thomson Reuters. Welcome. And Will Cain with a tie, which has been, you know, we've all been talking about this in the commercial, but dressing it up for us this new year.
Got a court date today.
Yeah, we'll talk about that speeding ticket later. Just kidding. Christine Romans joining us here at the table as well. Welcome, everyone. Happy New Year.
Welcome, everyone. Our starting point this morning, we are back from the fiscal cliff abyss. We are in detox from our fiscal cliff addiction, as the case may be. Tens of millions of taxpayers and small business owners exhaling this morning because late last night, the House passed that Senate bill that temporarily brings us back from the depths of that cliff. The final vote, 257 for, 167 against. And you might be interested to know this. House Speaker John Boehner voted yes. So did Paul Ryan, by the way. Here's what the deal means for you and your family. Couples earning less than $450,000 a year are spared an income tax hike. Itemized deductions are capped for couples making more than $300,000 a year. Unemployment benefits are extended a year for 2 million Americans. And that awful, thorny alternative minimum tax gets a permanent adjustment for inflation.
There are all kinds of battles ahead. We can think of three that we know of that are sort of on the docket. You know, the biggie, raising the debt ceiling, that happens into February. So, of course, the U.S. doesn't default on its debts. And billions of dollars in domestic and defense cuts have only now been deferred. This is the so-called sequestration that happens now 2 months ahead of us. Thank you. So Democrats and Republicans, they'll be forced to, dare we say it, compromise again.
We can settle this debate, or at the very least, not allow it to be so all-consuming all the time that it stops us from meeting a host of other challenges that we face. The one thing that I think hopefully in the new year we'll focus on is seeing if we can put a package like this together with a little bit less drama, a little less brinksmanship, not scare the heck out of folks quite as much.
I want to bring in White House correspondent Brianna Keilar live this morning from Washington. And you know, Berman kind of ran through what's in this bill. I want you, Brianna Keilar, to talk about what's not, the biggies that are not included here in this deal.
The biggies and the things that Congress will have to deal with. Well, let's break it down. Some of these things Congress absolutely has to deal with. You've got the debt ceiling, which technically we've already hit, but the Treasury Department is able to move some money around so the U.S. can pay its debts. And the ability to do that expires late February, maybe early March. Congress has to increase the debt ceiling or we will default. The U.S. will default on its obligations. That can't happen, obviously. The other thing is the spending cuts that you mentioned. They're only now averted for 2 months. So Congress has to deal with that. And then the other thing is there's sort of a chunk of things that Congress wants to deal with, that the president wants to deal with, that they'll attach to those things that have these hard and fast deadlines. And that is dealing with the long-term fiscal health of the country through entitlement reform, Social Security and Medicare, and tax reform. It is a lot to accomplish here the next couple months.
Okay, so as we look toward down that long road, tell me, Brianna, just some of the winners and losers from this whole thing.
Well, this is obvious. Some of the losers are obvious here, Brooke. If you're earning as a couple $450,000 or more than that, then you'll be seeing your taxes take a hit. $400,000 for individuals. If you itemize deductions and you're making as a couple $300,000 or more, or as an individual $250,000 or more, you will see your tax, you will see your pay take or your income take a hit there. You'll see that. But there are also some winners that maybe you didn't know about. For instance, the milk, sugar, and peanut producers, they have a tax break that they will get to hold on to. Also, unemployed Americans, long-term unemployed, will see their benefits extended, very key, and doctors who were set to see Medicare payments reduced to them, that won't affect them anymore. And then also the alternative minimum tax Brooke, when you cover Washington, you're always talking about the AMT fix, a tax that was supposed to hit the wealthy, but because it wasn't indexed for inflation, it would always start creeping up on middle class, people who didn't make a lot of money. And so Congress would have to be constantly fixing it. Well, they permanently indexed it for inflation. So I don't have to talk about it anymore, and middle-class Americans don't have to worry about it.
Hallelujah for you.
That's the Breonna Keeler carve-out as a part of the fiscal cliff deal.
The winning
I am a winner.
for Breonna. Breonna, thank you so much.
Obviously, there was so much political drama late last night. Twists and turns in this whole thing. It looked like the whole thing was going to fall apart,
but
and finally, it didn't. So why didn't it? We're joined now by Chris Freites. He's a reporter for the National Journal. He's in our Washington bureau. And Chris, the Journal's putting together a TikTok of what was going on behind the scenes during this whole thing. Walk us through it.
Well, John, what we're going to report a little bit later this morning is a really fun anecdote. We saw the talks fall apart in the Senate between Harry Reid and his Republican counterpart, Mitch McConnell. Mitch McConnell felt like the Democratic leader was slow-walking him towards the cliff to try to get more political leverage. And we learned that when the Republican leader called the vice president, he left them a message and gone onto the Senate floor to vote, and he got a note that he had a phone call waiting for him. He walked into the Senate cloakroom right off the Senate floor, sat down at the phone booth, and made a pitch to Vice President Biden to work with him. He said, I'm frustrated. I need a dance partner here. And he essentially said, look, Joe, you know the tripwires here, and I'm working with a lot of smart people, but they don't know how to negotiate and have your experience. Will you help me? Biden said to him, let me get back to you with an offer. That was the first offer that kicked off the back and forth that 30 hours later led to the deal that we have today.
So fiscal political history being made in a phone booth. Crazy. So that's where this deal, the late deal, actually started. It ended last night with the House vote in that meeting behind closed doors with House Republicans. One of the Republicans that ended up voting for this, I think, surprised a lot of people. That's Paul Ryan, who was the Republican choice for vice president. Any intelligence on what maybe put Paul Ryan on the yes side of this ledger?
Well, I think, for both, it was interesting, the Paul Ryan yes and Marco Rubio no split. We had, two folks who look like they might be running for president in 2016 take different tacks on this plan. So that's something that they'll sell to primary voters. And I think for a lot of conservatives in the House, a majority of the House House Republicans voted against this thing. And I think there was a frustration that there weren't the spending cuts that they were looking for. And Boehner had and relied on the Democrats to put this over the edge.
All right, Chris Freites, National Journal. We have the first talking point of the 2016 campaign. Thanks very much for joining us this morning.
Thank you.
Thank you.
I want to turn to Christine Romans now to talk about what this all means for paychecks.
Well, for most people, the vast majority of Americans, your tax rates will not rise, but your paychecks will be a little smaller anyway. Here's why. For 2 years, you've had a break on how much you pay into Social Security to fund Social Security. That payroll tax holiday is over now. Here's how the increase affects your paycheck. If you're earning $30,000 a year, you'll surrender about $50 more a month in those taxes, those payroll taxes. If you're earning $50,000 a year, you'll contribute about $83 more a month towards Social Security, funding Social Security. And if you earn more than $113,000 a year, you'll pay an additional $189 a month in payroll taxes. Now, I never thought this was going to survive. Last summer, we started talking about, we don't think the payroll tax holiday is going to survive the fiscal cliff, and it didn't. It was a focus on rates. The rates you pay, it was a focus on investment taxes, the payroll tax holiday. 2 years, it was stimulus for the economy. It's over now.
Party's over.
Party's over. Plan accordingly. I hope you have a budget, everyone, because you're going to have 2 fewer lattes a month, Ms. Baldwin.
Christine, thank you very much.
Wow.
Moments after the House passed a bill to avert a fiscal cliff, President Obama looked ahead to the next fiscal fight here on the horizon. This congressional vote, as we've been talking all morning, to raise the country's debt ceiling. And Jen Psaki served as a traveling press secretary for President Obama's re-election campaign. Jen, good morning. Good to see you.
Good morning. How are you guys?
We're well, and I think you're well as well.